The floating sanctuary fades gently into a memory of light, as if it were never left behind, but simply became part of you, folded into the soft hush of your being. You drift now, not upward, not forward, but inward, as though being drawn into the heart of stillness itself. There is no sound but the sound of silence growing fuller. No sensation but weightlessness carried on a breeze too tender to feel, yet so present it wraps around you like a whisper remembered. The sky around you dims, not into darkness, but into a dusky silver, like twilight seen through the petals of a pale blossom. And from that silvery hue, a shape begins to appear below, softly glowing, like lanterns beneath a thin veil of mist. As you drift closer, you begin to see it more clearly. A garden, but not an ordinary one. This is a glowing garden suspended in space, floating in quiet harmony with the stars. The air here is cool and thick with fragrance, a blend of rain-soaked petals, damp earth, and the gentle sweetness of night-blooming blossoms. The moment your feet touch the mossy path, you feel the garden respond, the earth softening to receive your steps, the flowers tilting ever so slightly toward your presence. The path ahead is winding, made of soft stone laced with silvery vines. Each step you take releases a gentle warmth beneath your soles, like a memory rising slowly from the deep, without words, without need. Glowing orbs float just above the path, each one humming faintly with a resonance you can feel in your chest, a sound too delicate to be heard by the ears, but known by the body. It soothes something inside you, something older than thought. You pass beneath arching trees whose leaves shimmer in pale golds and soft lavenders, trailing gently in the air like streamers in slow motion. Tiny blossoms unfurl as you pass, spilling faint light into the space between branches, no brighter than the moon's sigh. And somewhere nearby, a stream murmurs. You follow the sound, drawn not by curiosity but by peace, the kind that has waited quietly for you to notice. The stream is narrow, its water almost too clear to see, rippling softly over smooth stones that glow with internal light. You kneel beside it, dipping your fingers into its coolness, and it feels like touching a forgotten lullaby, a song without sound, but full of comfort. You sit there a while, the soft earth supporting you with perfect ease. Your breath slows even more, melting into the rhythm of water and wind. Every inhale brings in quiet. Every exhale carries away weight. And above you, the trees gently sway, their branches arching overhead to form a slow drifting canopy, each leaf a tiny prism of light, each movement echoing the rhythm of your own inner stillness. The glowing garden stretches endlessly in every direction, its pathways curving out of sight, inviting exploration without expectation. You know, without knowing how, that time here does not move as it does elsewhere. Here, it floats, it waits, it breathes with you. And somewhere deeper in this dream, perhaps down a winding path wrapped in violet mist, or beyond a grove of gently ringing crystals, another space waits to unfold. A memory palace, a velvet sky, a meadow where thoughts dissolve into petals. But for now, you remain here, still, safe, held within the garden's breath. And when you're ready to drift once more, all you have to do is whisper. You stay, unhurried, beneath the soft canopy of light-leaved trees, the glowing garden breathing around you like a slow, celestial tide. Your body feels weightless, as if the earth itself has forgotten to hold too tightly. And your thoughts, if they are still thoughts at all, move like dandelion seeds through sun-warmed air, loose, effortless, free to drift without destination. From somewhere just ahead, a path curls quietly into a deeper hush, lined on either side by low, silken grass that shines faintly under your gaze, like stardust woven into green. You rise without effort, your body following breath, your breath following stillness, and you walk, each step a whisper, each breath a gentle invitation to go further inward, to soften just a little more. As you wander, the light around you shifts from lavender to pearl, from pearl to a soft, endless blue, the color of a sky that remembers every quiet morning. Eventually, the garden begins to thin, and the path becomes lighter beneath your feet, almost translucent now, a ribbon of light unfurling into the air itself. And then you see it, a bridge floating in the sky. It stretches out before you, delicate and shimmering, suspended in space as though laid gently across the breath of a cloud. Its surface is made of pale glass or crystal, each step illuminating softly beneath you, not with brightness, but with warmth. You begin to cross, the garden now behind you, its fragrance still lingering in your senses like a lullaby. The air here is cooler, silken, and scented faintly with something like snow and jasmine. A breeze moves through, but it doesn't chill. It simply reminds you that this is a place where everything is in motion and everything is at peace. Above you, the sky is not just sky. It is filled with soft orbs of light, some drifting slowly like lanterns, others gently turning, revealing glimmers of golden architecture, temples suspended in the air like thoughts in deep meditation. Below the bridge, an ocean of clouds stretches out in all directions, endlessly rolling and folding over itself like silken fabric being tucked in around a dream. You pause in the center of the bridge and the quiet deepens. There is no sound now, but the hum of your own breath, the slow pulse of peace echoing in every part of you. And in that pause, you realize something. You are not crossing to anywhere. You are already there. This bridge is not a passage, but a place of its own, a moment carved out of time, a sanctuary suspended between thought and sleep. You lie down on the bridge and it supports you without question. The crystal beneath you adjusts to your shape, cool and warm at once, like the memory of a soft embrace. The sky above slowly turns, the stars in no hurry to go anywhere. One glows softly, then fades. Another takes its place. And you close your eyes, not because you must, but because stillness calls you deeper. Here, between the garden and whatever waits beyond, you rest, you float, you are safe. And when the next place begins to form, perhaps a celestial lake, still and luminous beneath a quiet moon, or a library of dreams where every thought is made of light and breath, you'll go gently, softly, only when the breeze within you whispers. You remain for a while, cradled by the bridge that is not quite bridge, suspended between nowhere and now. The stillness around you deepens, so gentle, so absolute. It feels as though time has drawn a blanket around your shoulders, tucking you in with the hush of starlight. The sky breathes above you, slowly, dreamfully. Shades of silver fold into tones of violet and pale amber, as if dawn and dusk are weaving together, creating a space that belongs to neither and welcomes both. And then, softly, so softly, a feeling begins to rise in you. Not a thought, not a desire, just a subtle turning inward, like the surface of a still lake, tipping slightly toward its own reflection. You rise again, not hurried, not with effort, but as mist rises from a sleeping field, slow and seamless as though you were never separate from the air around you. And there, At the far edge of the bridge, a new path appears, formed not of stone but of folded light, a thread of silver glowing with quiet invitation, leading into a sky that opens like a flower. You follow. With each step, the air grows softer, cool and perfumed with something faintly familiar, like the first pages of a book you loved long ago, or rain falling on warm leaves. The light begins to change, growing rounder, deeper, more golden, until you step gently into a new space and everything hushes again. Before you stretches a wide, celestial lake. Its surface is impossibly smooth, reflecting a sky of quiet moons, each one turned slightly different in its soft orbit. The water doesn't move, yet it shimmers with the breath of stillness, as if listening for dreams. You approach the shoreline, your feet sinking into cool, silken sand, soft as ash, pale as starlight. It cushions each step, then returns to stillness, leaving no trace behind. Here, the world feels wider, quieter, as if you have entered the space between heartbeats, a place where nothing is asked of you, where you are simply allowed to be in your fullness, in your softness, in your breath. You sit at the lake's edge. The silence is not empty. It is rich, alive with unseen things, the whisper of water thinking, the hush of stars remembering themselves, the sound of your body being held without demand. You dip your fingers into the water, and it ripples gently outward, each ring of light traveling endlessly, never hurried, never breaking. The coolness touches your skin, and it feels like peace made visible. A faint breeze glides across the surface, barely enough to stir the mist, yet enough to send a soft shimmer across your skin, like the lightest touch of sleep. The moons above begin to drift again, slowly rotating across the sky in spirals so wide and smooth they seem eternal. And now you lie back on the cool sand, the scent of night water filling your lungs. Your body becomes light, your breath becomes slower than thought. The sky above leans closer, and you begin to float again, not upward, but inward. Inward to the part of you that remembers softness, the part that never needed to be anything more than this moment. And in the lake's reflection, you glimpse the shape of what comes next. A glowing forest, a hallway of stars, a temple carved from breath and silence. Whenever you are ready, you'll go. But for now, you rest, you breathe, you let yourself be gently, deeply still. And when you're ready to drift again, simply whisper. The celestial lake lingers behind your closed eyes, not fading, but folding softly into you, as if its surface had become part of your breath. A stillness carried within, like a ripple that never stops expanding, even in silence. Time does not move here. Instead, it opens, like petals in moonlight, each moment a gentle unfurling into the next. There is no before, no after, only this slow and sacred unfolding. The cool sand beneath you is soft as velvet now, warm from the hush of stars overhead, cradling your body with effortless care. You could stay here forever, and perhaps you do, in some quiet corner of yourself that never left. But the dream shifts as dreams do, not with a push, but with a sigh. A new path forms not on the ground, but within you. A sense of gentle motion pulling from the heart outward, a drift, a directionless glide, like floating through warmth, through memory, through mist. And suddenly, you are no longer lying by the lake. You are drifting again, carried on a current of calm. Below you, soft shapes emerge through the mist, swaying trees with silvery trunks, leaves like feathers made of light. This is not a forest in any ordinary way, but a dream of one, ancient, glowing softly from within, each tree humming with peace. You float downward, slowly, light as breath, until your feet meet the mossy floor of the forest, which accepts your step like a secret returning home. The air here is warm and thick with the scent of green things, moss, moonflowers, and something deeper, a scent like the inside of a lullaby, something once forgotten, now gently remembered. All around you, the trees shimmer, their trunks smooth and iridescent, their roots winding through the earth like gentle thoughts. Above, their high canopy filters starlight, casting soft beams through drifting golden pollen that dances slowly, without purpose, without need. As you begin to walk, you notice the forest sings, not in notes or melodies, but in sensations, like a soft pressure behind the eyes, a hum in your chest, a rhythm in your bones. You pass under archways formed by the limbs of the trees, each one a threshold, each one welcoming you deeper. No two trees are the same. Some are hollow, glowing faintly from within, their openings shaped like eyes half closed in dreaming. Others are twisted in elegant spirals, their bark cool and smooth as porcelain. The moss beneath your feet thickens, its texture plush and damp with dew, and with every step, your body softens further. Muscles unspooling, breath deepening, mind drifting like a feather caught in a slow breeze. You come upon a small pool, tucked within a circle of trees, its surface perfectly still, mirroring the canopy above as if it were a second sky, resting on the ground. You kneel by its edge, and as you look in, you see not your reflection, but a memory, not a moment in time, but a feeling of deep safety, of being seen, of being held by something greater than thought. The memory doesn't speak. It doesn't need to. It simply lingers in the water's surface, glowing faintly, inviting you to stay as long as you like. You sit by the pool. The forest moves gently around you, branches swaying, light shifting, moss breathing in and out with your breath. And you rest again, the way the forest rests, not as a pause, but as a way of being. Nothing stirs you, nothing calls you forward. But the path continues still, folding further into soft shadows and glowing trails, toward floating sanctuaries, toward rooms made of stillness, toward the heart of quiet itself. And when you are ready, you will rise, you will drift again, but only when the breath within you gently whispers. And so, in your own unhurried time, you rise, not with effort, but with grace, as though the moss beneath you has gently lifted you, as though the forest itself has breathed you upward. You begin to move again, each step a soft invitation deeper into wonder, each moment stretched long and smooth, like golden thread unraveling into dusk. The trees part slightly ahead, their tall forms leaning back with reverence and ease, revealing a path that glows faintly beneath your feet. Not from any light above, but from the memory of moonlight pressed gently into the ground. The air grows warmer now, full and still, as if holding its breath. There is a scent, soft and unfamiliar, something sweet, like blossoms made of dream dust and honeyed mist. You follow the light path, letting it guide you with no need to decide where you are going. It simply leads, and you, simply being, follow. Soon you reach a clearing, and what greets you, there is not quite a garden, not quite a temple, but something between. A circle of tall, arching shapes made of stone and light, rising from the ground like memories cast into form. They stand in gentle formation, not grand or imposing, but ancient and quiet, each one wrapped in trailing vines that shimmer with a soft internal glow, like threads of moonlight woven through silk. The clearing hums softly, a low, resonant warmth that moves beneath the skin as if the earth itself is breathing in slow rhythm with your body. You step forward, and the moss gives way to a floor of polished stone, cool and smooth beneath your bare feet. It feels grounding, like a lullaby for your souls. In the center of the circle, a low platform rises, flat, wide, and wrapped in the gentle hue of early dawn. Its surface invites you, and without thought, you lie down, the stone warming beneath you as it senses your presence. Above you, the sky begins to change, no longer forest canopy, but wide and open, spangled with drifting lights, like soft stars set free from form. They do not twinkle. They pulse, slowly, softly, as though they are listening to your heart and echoing it back to you. The vines above sway ever so slightly, moved by a breeze you cannot feel, and small blossoms begin to fall. They drift down in spirals, light as dust, silent as breath. Some land on your body, cool and tender, like falling snow that never melts. Others vanish before touching the ground, as though they were made only to be seen, only to be wished upon in stillness. And you breathe. You let yourself dissolve into this moment, not disappearing, but blending, merging into the rhythm of the clearing, the silence of the garden, the vastness of sky. The world around you slows further, becomes softer still, until the edges of everything blur gently. No borders, no barriers, just the warm endlessness of being held. You close your eyes, but the dream does not end. It deepens. Beneath the stone you rest upon, you sense something old and kind, stirring not to wake, but to sing. A song with no melody, only feeling. A deep sense of welcome, of returning, of peace without end. There is more beyond this garden, more softness, more light, more paths that curve and float and wait patiently for you. But for now you rest, wrapped in petals and stillness, until the dream whispers to you again. In the hush that follows, you remain still, your body draped in the gentle weight of petals, your breath so quiet, so steady, it seems to join the rhythm of the stones beneath you. Ancient, unbroken, like a lullaby without words. And just when stillness feels complete, not interrupted but expanded, you feel it. A shift, as soft as the flutter of wings in the dark. You rise once more, not because you must, but because something tender calls from beyond the garden. A presence, not of voice, but of direction, like the way the wind leans against the leaves without asking them to move. You follow, stepping gently between the stone arches, the moss cool again beneath your bare feet. The forest receives you like an old friend. No greetings, no farewells, only the quiet joy of returning. Soon the trees begin to thin, and the sky stretches wider above you. Its color has deepened, a velvet blue soaked in stardust, with ribbons of lavender spilling across the horizon, as if the twilight were painting itself slowly, just for you. Ahead, you see the glint of something vast and still. A lake, but not of water. It is a lake of sky. You step toward it, and the forest fades behind you like the ending of a soft dream. The surface before you is mirror smooth, reflecting not what is above, but what lies beneath. Constellations, nebulae, gentle swirls of color that pulse and breathe in cosmic silence. You step lightly onto its surface, and it holds you. There is no weight here, no gravity, only the sensation of floating upon an endless cradle of stars. With each step, the lake hums beneath you, a deep, slow vibration, like the universe purring in sleep. You walk until walking becomes drifting, and drifting becomes stillness again. There is no need to move further, so you sit, then lie back, arms open to the endless sky above and the endless stars beneath. The lake of sky embraces you. It knows you, not by name, but by rhythm. The rhythm of breath, the rhythm of stillness, the quiet song you carry always. Above you, the stars begin to drift, not in haste, not in dance, but in a slow, spiraling motion, as if they are dreaming too, and you are part of the dream. You feel your breath deepen, not from effort, but from surrender. A quiet smile rises within you, not on your lips, but somewhere deeper, like a candle lit in the soul. You are light, you are rest, you are here, and you are held. And in this great quiet, this vast, loving hush, there is nothing to do. Nowhere to go, but deeper, further inward, further into peace. And so you drift, as the stars above slowly turn, and the lake of sky below hums ever more softly, carrying you gently, gently into the space where even dreams fall asleep, until something new whispers once again. Now you float not on the lake of sky, but within it, as if the stars have opened a quiet door and welcomed you inside. There is no boundary here, no edge between you and the stillness around you. You are surrounded by a weightless hush, a velvet dark that is not empty, but full of rest, of timeless breath, of soft, celestial unfolding. The starlight glides slowly past you, curling like strands of silver mist in deep water. It brushes your skin without touch, warms your chest without heat, moves through you as if you, too, are made of starlight now. You drift slowly, without effort, without aim, carried by a current of calm that you cannot see, but fully trust. Time does not pass here. It rests with you, curled up like a sleeping cat, content to be still. As you move through this dreamlike expanse, the air, or what feels like air, grows thick with golden specks, each one a tiny glimmer suspended in nothing, hovering like ancient pollen from stars that bloomed long ago. They begin to gather softly around you, not crowding, just keeping gentle company. And with each breath, you feel lighter, like your body is becoming memory, not fading, but softening, easing into a more spacious way of being. Above, or perhaps below, directions no longer matter. A gentle glow begins to form. It's not bright, but steady. A bloom of pale color, shifting slowly from soft rose to pearl to lavender, like the inside of a seashell dreaming of morning. You drift toward it, drawn not by movement, but by intention. The quiet longing for deeper stillness, for even more surrender. And when you arrive, you find yourself entering a space within the sky, a sanctuary made not of walls, but of slow light and warm silence. Inside, there are floating shapes, vast, round petals hovering gently in the air, turning slowly on unseen breezes. They shimmer with translucent hues and carry a faint scent, something like moon fruit in ancient rain. One petal hovers just near you. You reach out, not with your hands, but with your presence. It meets you, and without sound, without words, it opens. A blooming of energy, a welcome that wraps around your entire being like the softest blanket ever dreamed. You settle upon it, and it cradles you, beginning to sway in slow rhythmic circles. The other petals begin to turn with you, a slow spiral dance of silence and light. They do not touch, they harmonize, they move in kindness, they echo peace. Above you now, the sanctuary's center opens to a view of countless drifting lights, small spheres of memory and meaning, floating gently across the sky. Each one holds something gentle, something soothing. A lullaby once hummed, a breeze remembered, a moment of stillness long ago. And from this petal, as you drift within the sanctuary, You feel them gently touch your awareness, not to awaken, but to soothe, like the softest whispers saying, "You are safe, you are whole, you are here." Your breath, now barely a breath, follows the spiral rhythm of petal and light until there is no longer breath, but only being, pure, quiet presence. You let go without falling. You dissolve without disappearing. You sleep without slipping away. And the petal keeps cradling you, turning gently through the sanctuary, through the dream of the sky, through the hush of eternity, until something, somewhere, calls again in a voice like silk mist. And as the petal rocks you gently, so slowly, so carefully, you begin to sense a deeper warmth, as if light itself has curled beside you, pressing softly against your side like a trusted friend who needs no name. The floating sanctuary around you, petals turning, stars watching, light breathing, fades just slightly at the edges, not disappearing, but blending into a new softness. The sky becomes a pale silver veil, folding itself over you with the ease of twilight's sigh. You feel it touch your skin like cool silk, brushing across your forehead, trailing over your shoulders, wrapping around your feet. And below, if below can still be named, a new shape stirs into being. A garden of light, it unfolds in the air beneath you, as if sprouting from the very hush of the dream. There is no earth here, no soil or root, just blossoms, soft and glowing, floating in place as though held up by invisible kindness. They pulse in slow harmony, opening and closing like breath. Each bloom emits a different hue, gentle shades of moon blush, sleepy coral, cool cloud blue. They do not glow to be seen, but to comfort, like the warm light that leaks beneath a door when someone you love is still awake. Your floating petal lowers you now, cradling you into the midst of the garden where you are welcomed without a word, without a sound, only the radiant stillness of being known. You settle among the blooms, their light washing over your skin like the softest rain. They hum faintly, a sound so delicate, so soothing, you feel your thoughts untangle completely, drifting into silence like feathers falling through air. Above you the sanctuary glimmers, and within it, a slow cascade of stars continues to drift downward, one at a time, like sleepy fireflies returning to their nest. One of them comes to rest near you, a tiny sphere of pale light, no larger than a breath. It hovers near your chest, close to your heart, and you feel it gently enter your awareness, not as a thought, not as a word, but as a soft remembering. A meadow you once dreamed, where clouds floated low enough to touch. A breeze you felt once, cool and sweet, carrying the scent of blooming lavender and rain-washed stone. A quiet moment beneath a tree, when time held still, and your soul felt wide and light. The memory isn't yours exactly, and yet it belongs to you, as all peaceful things do. As rest does, you breathe in, and the memory breathes with you. The blossoms pulse gently, their colors dimming now, as if falling into slumber beside you. And the petal that carried you here folds softly beneath your back, like a dream preparing to sleep within another dream. You close your eyes, not to shut the world away, but to become more fully a part of it, a part of the bloom, the sky, the hush. And as you rest in that moment, in that infinite garden of light and memory, a gentle shimmer begins to rise from the blossoms below, a drifting mist, cool and golden, weaving slowly around you, lifting you again, not outward, not upward, but inward, further still into the heart of the dream. And just as you begin to vanish into that tender, endless stillness, a new breath stirs the quiet. and invites the story onward when you are ready. With just two whispered words,